you mind telling me your name?
Oh, I'm Billy Price.
Also known as?
Billy Lou.
I am Alice Price Gregg.
My name is Parker Gregg, and I'm the one making the project.
And my grandchildren call me Lulu because Billy Lou is the middle name.
Daughter of Billy Lou, mother of Parker.
My grandmother is Alice Price Gregg Charlton, one or the other.
That would be your mother.
Yes, that'll be my mother, and my grandmother is Billy Price, also known as Lulu, as we like to call her. So what was it like growing up in Burnet County?
Well, I lived in the country, which was here, as I said, 13 miles from Bertram, 17 miles from Burnet, and 22 miles south of Lampasas. My little grandson used to say when he came to visit that I lived nowhere, and that is where I grew up.
It was a great place to grow up. It was a small town, and it also taught you a valuable lesson to don't do anything you don't want everybody to know about, because it's going to get around, whatever it is that you do. So make good decisions. But I think the people are mostly nice and pleasant and hardworking, and it was a good place to grow up.
Burnet was always a pretty nice town. Admittedly, when I was growing up, I didn't spend a lot of time with it outside of school, and I kind of regret that, if I'm being honest. But overall, and like, I got a good amount of feel for the town, and it did feel nice, quaint, and just overall a friendly place to be.
We drove by the Joppa Church, which is down about, about 4 miles down here out in the country. That was where we went to church, and that was the community.
Yes, the church that we went to was called Joppa, and it was in our little community that, like I said, we lived just outside of Burnet and Bertram both. And my grandmother played the piano. It was a very small little country church, like 50, 60 people tops. That would be like a Christmas, Easter thing. That would be the most people that would ever be there. It was very interactive in the community. We had Easter egg hunts, and we would do Christmas things there. And since it was out in the country, we could play outside a lot. And it was nice, though. It was nice. Very small, but nice.
Yes, I went to the Joppa Church. It's about a couple miles from where I live, and honestly, the favorite thing to do, and like whenever I went to the church, is after the whole ceremony was over, we had this little this building where we'd have lunch and eat, and we used to play games over there. Where I used to play with some of the other kids. We had like VeggieTales to watch and an air hockey board we used to play with. It was a lot of fun. That was actually one of the things I actually did miss when we stopped going to church.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that's usually the best part of church is when it's over.
Yes.
Even though it has good lessons, but still.
Yep.
The Storms DriveIn that you had that we drove by the other day, and as I remember, it was a curbside service. We called it the Drive-In, Buster's Drive-In, and there were about 4, maybe 5 or 6 parking spots, and Mrs. Ferris was the car hop. Her husband was the cook. That would be Buster. And Storms continued. That is one business that has one restaurant that has stayed in business and remained open the whole time. It is now Storms, and we stopped there the other day, and we still go there. My husband and I.
The restaurant that comes to mind that we eat at the most and still do is a restaurant called Storms. It originally was a drive-thru, and when my mom used to go there, it was called Buster's, and it was a hamburger place. And it is still open today, and now they actually have an inside dining part now, but instead of being called Buster's, it's called Storms. And still have hamburgers, milkshakes, fries, and my parents still eat there every Friday afternoon. It's because it's Catfish Day, so Very important.
Yes, and another place where I went to eat all the time is, well, a local McDonald's, like we had in town. I mean, every town has a McDonald's, but yeah, but that was actually kind of the main hangout spot for like a lot of kids in town. It's kind of like where a lot of people would just hang out for like just an hour or so, just to chill and after a long day of school.
Right. And who doesn't like McDonald's?
Oh, one last thing though. That McDonald's, it was once at one point, but also half a gas station. Like it was, half of it was like a McDonald's, and the other half was like, what's it called? Like a Shell or a
Chevron.
A Chevron. It was actually pretty neat being in two stores at once, and I got tired of it, like stepping on one side, like I'm at McDonald's, I'm not on the Chevron. I'm at McDonald's, I'm not on the Chevron.
That's true. That's true.
All right.
From what I know and remember and still consider about small towns is the question of privacy that comes to mind at a small town, when nowadays there's so much concern about privacy. And it just occurred to me when the problem first arose that when you live at a small town, there's no such thing as privacy. They know everybody knows what you're doing, and they know you pretty so well that they probably can predict what you're going to do it beforehand. But I don't know.
The people of Burnet, I think, are generally nice and hardworking and proud of who they are and where they live. It's a typical, I'd say, agrarian community, a lot of farmers and ranchers. As my mom mentioned, sometimes people did kind of know your business. But then, we have a couple of big businesses in the area. The Pedernales Electric Cooperative employs a lot of people, and the Lower Colorado River Authority also employ a lot of people. So those are probably the two biggest ones in the area. We're very sports oriented. Everyone's always behind the high school football team, and but overall, it's a very nice place to live, nice place to raise kids, and I think it's a good environment. Very true. Overall, do you think Burnet was a good place to grow up?
Oh yeah, definitely. And even if I probably didn't make as many friends as I probably should have, and I didn't get a feel for I guess the community of people like you did, other than its youth. And I don't know if that was a good set marker, because let me tell you, when kids in high school, they swear a lot.
Okay, we're a little off topic.
Sorry.
So, you think overall it was a good place to grow up?
Yes, it was a very quaint, nice place to grow up in that I don't think many other people have ever gotten to experience. And I'm actually glad that I got the chance to live that life, and I live that life. And I believe it's helped me actually grow up to be a bit of a better person because of it.
Excellent. Okay. I think that wraps up your interview, Parker.
All right. Thank you for your time, everyone.